Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you I say shalom. Shalom. Um, this is your brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the title of this lesson will be Desire the Sincere Milk. All right. The milk, is very it's very underrated whenever it comes down to um, people or newcomers, right? Newcomers coming in, people just waking up to this truth. You know, Jake will be ready to, go into the deep, dive in deep into the meat, into the weightier matters of the scriptures, right? Going into Revelations and Daniels, and all these deep breakdowns, always trying to be so deep. It's not good to be, to start off on the deep end of the pool, man. You can drown, right? You can drown. You gotta learn how to swim first. You gotta learn how to paddle. You gotta learn how to float, you know, and then you can, jump into the deep end, start diving and going deeper and deeper, right? And even when you know how to swim, you don't go that deep because otherwise you can drown, right? And it takes practice. It takes practice. Then there you go start going deeper and deeper and deeper, right? The same thing with the milk, right, of the scriptures. Shit as a baby, right? A baby, you don't just start feeding them goddamn, chunks of meat, steak off the grill, right? Whole foods. You don't feed them that. You feed them, the milk. Babies need that breast milk from the mother in order for them to get the strong bones, teeth start coming in, then they can start eating you know what I'm saying, eating whole foods, solid foods. But it takes time, right? Once you build up that foundation in the milk, in the basics, then you can start digging in deeper. Then you can start, you know, because otherwise you can bug yourself out, right? But let me get some precepts. And I got an article too I want to pull up. But this is First Peter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, Wherefore, laying aside all malice, and all guile, and hypocrisies, and envies, and all evil speakings, meaning leaving all that shit behind, man, right? Verse 2, as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. That's how you grow. You grow by that milk, like a baby. Baby, when it gets that milk, it has all the nutrients that it needs from that milk, from its mother's milk, right? Nowadays you got mothers feeding their children that powder shit, you know, which doesn't have the nutrients that it needs. That's why some of these babies are coming up all malnutrition and whatnot. And you can compare that, that powder shit to being the Christianity, being some of these other Israelite camps, right? But hey, it's important to get that sincere milk, man. That's how you're gonna be able to grow. That's how you're gonna be able to, you know, build up that foundation that is needed. You start diving in too deep, you over here building the roof before you even built the foundation. How you gonna be covered? What benefit is that gonna do for you? You're building up a roof, but you haven't even got the foundation done, right? So let's get another precept. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 21. It reads, Seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. You see? Don't try to be too deep, man. Don't try to go and be the ultimate the second Ezra's, Revelation, Daniel, uh the book of Daniel breakdown master, man. Especially if you're new. That comes later. That comes with time. First, you got to understand, you know, the basics. You know, the tribe, the 12 tribes chart, right? The fact that you're an Israelite, the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, you know, the fear in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, um, you know, the end, you know, what does that entail? How to seek salvation, you know, all these things, right? The basics. You need to have that down. You need to have that down packed first. If you don't got that down, what's the purpose in learning all the other stuff? What's the purpose in learning all the deep breakdowns when you don't even got the basics down? You know, a basketball player that doesn't know how to dribble, doesn't know how to run with the ball or whatever, walk with the ball, doesn't know how to shoot. What good is he gonna be on the court if if all he does is these um, crazy ass dunks and you know uh, uh, is able to juke some people out, but you can't dribble, you can't shoot. Those are the basics of basketball, right? You know, one thing that comes to mind is that I don't know if brothers watched that episode of the Boondocks with Riley. You know, thinking he can know how to play basketball, but the dude can't shoot. You know, that's essentially what you're doing if you know all you're doing is working out your handles, but you ain't practicing how to shoot. Right? The whole purpose of the game is to score. That's essentially what Jake is doing, you know, who trying to be too deep, but yet got no uh got no respect for the milk. Got no understanding, don't have no foundation, but got the breakdowns down. We got the deep breakdowns, you know, down pat. Ain't a brother, ain't charitable, ain't humble. What use is all those breakdowns for you, man? Right? And plus you're gonna bug yourself out going in too deep. Like it says right here, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search out things that are above thy strength. You know, going in too deep, you're gonna drown, right? You start to bug out. You start going into, you know, how the world is gonna end, or the earth spins or it don't. You know, going into things that don't pertain to salvation. Then end up being like one of these guys out here reading into the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees and all these other, you know, bugged out books, just trying to seek out more knowledge, trying to be extra deep. This is not what this thing is about. Right? The scriptures talk about, as a matter of fact, let me get it in the book of Joshua. Joshua, the 24th chapter, and the 14th verse, it says, now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth. You see? Serve him in sincerity and in truth. So you gotta be sincere about this thing. If you're trying to be too deep, you know, you're here trying to be the like I said, the breakdown master, you know, already day one. You ain't really sincere about this thing. Because what's your intention behind that? You trying to be the dude, you trying to receive acknowledgement of men, you know, you trying to be that guy. Nah, man, this thing is about us trying to get out of this place, trying to seek salvation, and then edifying the sheep. That's the name of the game, man, to make it out of this place. And pray that our sacrifices are worthy enough for deliverance, worthy enough in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Not to gain respect of men here on this side, be looked at as being, you know, getting reverence from men here on this side, getting your own glory. That's what we're seeing about some of these guys. You know, it ain't about uh uh this, or sincerely. It ain't about being sincere about your intentions. You know, a lot of these guys, they do it for money, they do it for glory, you know, anything but for the edification of you know, of the body. And coming into this thing, your whole mindset should be to seek salvation and getting the hell up out of here, man. Right? And that milk is needed for that. The milk is essential. That's why it's the milk. The milk is the essential, man. The essentials. But now let's go to that article real quick, since I mentioned the milk is being essential. Same thing as like a baby, right? Uh, a baby needs, like we read in First Peter 2:2, right? As newborn babes, we are as newborn babes, man. Well, at least newcomers coming in, right? Newcomers coming in. Hey, you're babies in this thing. So like I said, you can't start off, eating the meat. You're gonna choke on it. It's good to start off with the basics. So I got this article from what is it? University of Michigan Health or mottchildren.org. It says feeding your baby and toddler birth to age 2. Right here, breastfeeding. It says breast milk contains a unique mix of fatty acids, lactose, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and other important factors that combine to make the perfect infant food. Right? So the milk from a mother to the baby gives it all the nutrition that it needs, the nutrients that the baby needs in order for it to grow big and strong, right? So it says it has everything a baby needs for easy digestion, right? And that's what the milk is, man. The milk, Jake is gonna be able to easily digest it if you're part of the elect, of course. Um, you start eating the meat, hey, that shit can get stuck up in your throat. That shit can get stuck up in your stomach to where it's not easy to be digested. And then Jake starts bugging out, right? So it says it has everything a baby needs for easy digestion, brain development, and protection from illness and infections. So that's what the milk is for, man. It's for your protection. It's to develop you, man. It's for your brain development. It's for you to grow. You see? It says breastfeeding is also healthy for mom. That's going into other shit. Because you have mothers out here who ain't breastfeeding their babies, feeding them the damn, like I said, that powder formula. The babies end up growing up being malnutritioned, right? That's essentially what the Christian church is. That powder shit, that powder formula, end up getting Jake all fucked up, all malnourished in the spirit, But let's see. It says, continue and skip down to the next next paragraph. It says, for the first 6 months, breast milk is all your baby needs to meet his or her nutrition needs. If you wean your baby before 12 months of age, be sure to give an iron fortified formula. That's pretty much the point, Pretty much is a certain time period where you're gonna have to be breastfed. You're gonna have to drink that sincere milk, man. Once you get weaned off that milk, once you develop that foundation, right? You're pretty much fluent in the milk. Then you can start to dig in deeper into the meat, right? Into the heavy breakdowns, the weightier matters of the truth of the scriptures, right? So let's get another precept. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 3 and start at verse 1. It says, and I, brethren, cannot speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. So the Apostle Paul here is speaking to the Israelites in Corinth, right? And because Paul had a lot of problems with these Jakes over in Corinth, and pretty much he's telling them here that he has to speak to them as babies. He can't speak to them as somebody that's been seasoned in this truth, that knows the scriptures. He has to speak to them as somebody who's brand new, have to mind his words and has to make sure he breaks things down and speaks to them, like babies, speaking to them like babies. But it says in verse 2, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. Right. And just speaking according to newcomers, it's important to get the milk. You jump too fast to get the milk. I mean, to get the meat, you might end up choking on it, man. You might not be able to bear it. Right. Verse 3, you end up bugging out and you know digging into deeper shit. Like I said, you're gonna start, you know people start going into the whole Nephilim thing and then digging in deeper, and then they start going to the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees and end up bugging themselves out, man. You done choked on that little piece of meat that you were given. Right? But verse 3, it says, for yet are ye carnal, and whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? So it says right here, for ye are yet carnal, because it takes a period of time for you to, actually, it takes time to, you know, to pretty much put away that old man. It's not like an instant change overnight. It's not an overnight thing. You know, it takes time. So while you're in those stages of barely learning, you gotta also, put off that old man, right? And again, that takes time. But continuing on, as a matter of fact, let me go to what was it? I'll go to Ephesians, and I'm gonna close it off with this. Ephesians 4 and verse 11. Wait, this is Ephesians 3. I meant Ephesians 4 and 11. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Right? So the apostles, the whole church, the body, you have the prophets out there, the whole body has been built up to the point that it is now for the edifying of the elect of the nation of Israel. Right? It says, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. Right, until the elect are sealed, essentially. Right? Verse 14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Exactly, man. Like, that's the reason why the milk is essential, because it establishes that foundation to the point where um, a Christian comes up, or these Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking at your door, or you come across some other doctrines like the Islam and Buddhism and whatever, what have you, right? All these other bugged out religions, right? They, I mean, well, when they come around to you, you won't be captivated by them. You won't be enchanted by them. You know all the shit that they're saying is bullshit, and you're gonna be pretty much locked in. Your foundation is not gonna be swayed, right? You ain't gonna have those itching ears, as the scripture says. Because Jake out here, just trying to just dibbling and dabbling into everything. And those are Jakes who aren't in the truth, who haven't had that foundation, who haven't drank of that milk. Right? They're over here mixing, concoctions, got this, got that, got the other thing, got that thing. And we see that time and time again. There's a lot of bugged out, especially among these Christians, there's a lot of bugged outness going on over there. Right? But when you come to this truth again, it's essential to drink the milk. Start with the milk. Stop thinking that you can handle uh, uh, the deep water. You can't. Maybe you jumped in there and you got back out and you were able to make it unscathed. But hey, the milk is there so you can be able to endure that. So you can be able to go through the deep, right? Jake is over here, don't even know how to swim and want to go ahead and jump into the deep water, trying to prove that he can do it, trying to prove that he's the man. Then Jake gets fucked up and drowns, right? Right here, about to dive into some water and got no damn scuba gear. The truth is your scuba gear, man. That's what you need to be. Hey, the milk is just scuba gear. That's what that's what you need to be able to navigate these deep waters, man. Right? But let me see. Let me continue on a little bit more. 15. But speaking, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna read 14 again. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Right? Because you got best believe, man, Esau's out here trying to steer you away from this truth. All these religions out here, Esau has laid so many snares out there to where it's easy to steer you away. And that's what he wants, right? But once you're locked in, you have the milk, you got that foundation, you ain't gonna be swayed, man. You ain't gonna be moved. You're gonna be locked in. Lord willing, we be part of the elect, right? But verse 15 it says, but speaking the truth in love may grow up in him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, right? We may grow in Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. Let me get this in the NLT, just real quick. Let me see. I'll start at 14. Ephesians 4 and 14, it says that then we will no longer be immature like children. Excuse me. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teachings. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. You see? It says, instead, we will speak the truth in love, growing in every way more and more like Hamashiach. And Yahweh Shah is the ideal image, the ideal, the way he walked. That's how we should be emulating Yahweh Shah, right? That's my point. Salakia for kind of rambling a bit, but Yahweh Shai is who we should be emulating, trying to emulate, walking his footsteps, right? He was perfect when he came down here, right? But it says who is the head of his body, the church. That's right. But that was pretty much the point. That was pretty much all I had. I just want to do a quick lesson on this. The milk is, again, it's essential. It's overrated. I mean, not over Salakia, not overrated. It's underrated. The milk is heavily underrated. You need the milk. A baby needs his milk. It ain't got no teeth. You can't chew no meat. When you're new in this thing, you're like a baby. You gotta start with the milk, right? The basics of the scriptures. Don't try to be too deep. But anyway, I pray the lesson was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say, Shalom.